we created more enemies than we needed to. So the big picture is, I think our mission failed. You know, I look back in history about whether or not we should have invaded. History will probably tell us no, but frankly, I don't know who to believe. I've read up on it, so it can be quite discerning thinking about the Americans and the Iraqis that I know died during this time, and you know, since then.
Seems like a topic you've thought deeply about.
I mean, I can say myself and many of my fellow soldiers who served in the 416th did give it all, and you know, we put our heart and soul in it. I've always been a true believer. I always believe that when a person, a man or woman, raises his right hand and says, "I swear to tell the truth," I got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And you know, Colin Powell was one of my heroes. He was a Vietnam lieutenant in a Vietnam grunt platoon, and rose to the highest ranks of our government, was somebody that I would have voted for president. And that he was able to be twisted into going in front of the United Nations and pretty much lie at the expense of men and women just like Colin Powell going off to war. I had problems. I always thought a man like him would have pushed back and said, "You need to fire me. I'm resigning." So yeah, I have issues with men of honor like him, that when it's truly your time to step up, and that man stepped up so many times in our history. Now I look back and I just question. I would love to sit down and talk to him and get his feelings. I've read some of his thoughts in books, but I expect men like that, men and women, to step up when it's time. And I'm sorry, but Colin's a little tainted to me now. When President Bush stood on top of the pile up at 9/11, I mean, you could do nothing more than believe in him. And you know, when I go back and I look at some of the stuff, I mean, I was reading books in Afghanistan about this and was like, "Are you kidding me?" You know, I read a few of the books and it was like, I can't believe that we would do this deception. So, yeah, if you only 10 or 15% of what I read is true, it's pretty disheartening. I question a lot of decisions made by our government. Not afraid to say it. I mean, we were using porta-johns that had KBR stickers on it and Halliburton, and I question this war machine that history will look back on us about what really was it about. You know, I know the connections of some of our people in the government at the time with these big companies, and you know, I could talk about all the meals that they charged us and stuff like that. Corporations got rich at the expense of our young men and women going to war, as well as the expense of Iraqis who believed in us. So yeah, I have a lot of issues with some of the decisions that we've made. Absolutely.